Oh dear, somebody is coming to be my carer for the week and I'm not paying him. We've had an absolute conversation about the fact that my ribs in my back are still really hurting and all the muscles. The problem with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is, you see my ligaments here. We've got ligaments all the way around our body. They're in our shoulder. I've got Amber messaging me, check this over, make public and post in your own words. Oh, sorry, she's just creating a post to put out for you all. I can't wait. You know, the sage that I did down at Parliament, got a post coming your way. Of course, it won't be a viral post. My posts are never viral posts. So anyway, I'm really sorry to piss you all off, because obviously the last time this person took time out to be with me, one, he ended up in prison, up obviously disappearing from his own life. I didn't understand the significance of this until I was listening to a podcast by somebody talking about my boy's father, and they said, well, he went missing in 2015 and didn't come back until I think it was about 2017, because obviously we've had social to deal with, and Dean disappeared from his own life because obviously Dean isn't a benefit dosser. It's me that's on benefits as a single mum with the flat, and obviously Dean's been trying to get his own career back and back into normal life, because even the day of the child protection, we already told him that he was DJing in France and he needed to go on tour, and like they went, all right, well, you've got a child protection meeting on the day that he's going, and he chose to come to the child protection meeting, and he gave up his music, his art, his dancing, everything for child protection, to protect our son. And it's been so hard for him to try to rebuild his own life, even though both of us met on Downing Street. So if we were on Downing Street for Stolen Children of the UK, he didn't have children that were forced adopted. He had parent alienation, so the mother. And obviously I was a forced adopted. So we had both come from broken lives, and my neck is really hurting. You're going to have to bear with me at the moment. I'm padding up, and part of the reason that I keep my headphones around my neck is because I double it up as a little bit of a brace. Because when my neck goes, when the discs go, so if you saw the photograph that I posted from my chiropractor, one on my timeline showed the chiropractor cracking my neck back in place. So literally, if you saw the video, I could only get my neck back to there. If I drop it back now, let me take my headphones off and show you now. You ready? Ugh, hang on. Yeah, let me put my headphones back around. Your neck is not meant to do that. And it basically means mine's off its post. So if you imagine the difference between a golf ball making a hole in one and going in, to a ball not making it in, my head is off. And the discs then down into the picture of the pelvis. So at the end of the day, in order for me to be Kellie Cotton, the director of Step Up Britain, so take this person, Chris Cunningham, yeah? So this is the work of director Chris Cunningham. So this is a collection of his music videos, short videos, video installations and commercials. And obviously when I met Dean was trying to put a booklet and one of these together of all of, like, literally, as I told you, I'm not allowed to say too much about Dean because obviously I don't think anybody actually knows him as Dean. And I know him as Dean, which makes it quite difficult, because then I told my mum he was Dean, and I told my friends and family he was Dean, and I don't think anybody has ever known him as Dean other than his own personal family since he was like 11 years old. As I told you, he's a street rat. He didn't stick around for the asses, for for the dicks to go up their asses in the foster care place. He ran out the window, as you know, and he has shared that story himself on Parliament, which is why I have spoken about that. But we are not actually officially together and haven't been together since, obviously, we had all of the shit when Elijah was taken. And then, obviously, my mum stopped speaking to me as a result of that. And I'd only just formed that relationship back with my mum after Aaron and Faith were taken. And then, of course, with that, it's really, really, really difficult because I've got these lives that exist. Like I've cried to Dean today on text, on message. We only communicate between MSM at the moment. And I bombard him with texts. He just says okay or en route. And of course, because of technology is really different. Not everybody wants their face on face recognition. A lot of people understand where this is leading to in the future. A lot of people understand what think tanks are. A lot of people understand the difference between the royals, government, parliament, courts, common law, statute law, parliamentary law, EU, United Nations, and different things like this. So a lot of people can do what's called a mind map. And I ask you to do this right now. I ask you to get a pen and paper. I've got to be careful because I really can't move around right now. Let me just use one of my... This actually wasn't one of mine. This was actually Shiloh's. It might have been one of mine, actually. Probably is one of mine because it's a bit vulva and pelvisy and stuff like that. So it's probably one of mine. But anyway, take a piece of paper. So I'm going to take a piece of paper with you and I'm going to try and find a pen. And I want you to do the same with me. In fact, I've got one on my wall, haven't I? No, I haven't. I thought I had one on my wall. Have I got a pen? No, I haven't. I haven't got a pen, but I'll do it with you anyway. So basically, draw a circle, draw your mind, get a pen, and just literally write every word that comes to your mind there. And then literally put a line to it, try to get some pens and paper and try to categorise it and put it into little boxes, which I don't like. But it would just show you where all of these different things were coming from. Every single thing will come into a couple of boxes. And it will be your personal relationships, your health and your wealth. When I first started Step Up Britain, well, Challenge Britain, and I made the same mistake as the guy that claims to own Facebook, or is the face of Facebook, I should say, Mark Zuckerberg, yes. He's that much of a businessman that he didn't even know to copyright what he was going to change it to Meta, yeah? Really fucking good business sense. I was a novice. I had never ever gone out by myself. I think what Mark Zuckerberg was doing was fucking off the MI people and going, take your fucking Facebook, I'm off. But he's never actually properly ever run a business before. So he's gone, yes, I'm running with Meta. Didn't even know how to go onto companies' houses, put in Meta and see whether it already had a company attached to it, which was what I didn't know when I designed Challenge Britain. Then I wanted a website. This website for Challenge Britain, because Challenge Britain was meant to be, so it was meant to be a BBC programme, which is how I ended up going, I ain't working with fucking Savile and all these bastards around me. I'm not being in this place. It was really horrible. And obviously, I'm more an ITV girl. My friends that work, so obviously, hats off, my friend Kay Parcell died last year. Coming into Christmas, she didn't get to have Christmas with us last year. And even, I said to the boys and Dean the other day, I went, oh, fuck, Dean. I went to just go to Google where Kay's doing Panto this year and ring her and see whether or not we're going to meet up. And I'm not going to be able to. And I've done that every Christmas. Kay has given my two boys, Liam and Daniel, such opportunities. Like, my boys have been on the set of Bernard's Watch. They've been on the set of, what was My Parents Are Aliens. They've watched the filming. They've been to Pantos with her. We've sat in the green rooms while she's having her makeup done. We've sat in the makeup room while she's being turned into whatever that she's being turned into. And she was my friend. And I didn't get to go and tell her personally that Aaron and Faith had been taken. I got to bump into her when I went to Preston Hospital to get my paperwork for Aaron and Faith, and she was outside. And I got to find out that she was really ill, and I didn't want to dump it on her. And I said I would get back to see her, and I didn't. She wouldn't have abandoned me. She was adopted herself, black baby adopted to a white family in Leyland. You can Google it yourself. You know, I always lived in Leyland. Kay Parcell obviously had her own academy. I did some drama with her. Kay seen me dance. Kay seen me act. Kay seen me do stuff. But obviously I've been a mum. And I chose to not have a career and be a mum. My mum said it on whatever TV programme she went on. She said, but Kellie's not trying to be anything but a mum. She said the difference with me, as in my mum, this is what she said on telly. I think it was called Moral Dilemmas. And what she said was, the difference with her is she was always trying to be something. With me, as in Kellie, with Liam, I wasn't trying to be anything other than being a mum. But I could, because I had a man who was a provider and a protector. I married a man who had the discipline from the army. The army provided us with a home. Our rent, our bills and everything was taken straight out of his wages. All we got was what he had left from his wages that was literally just for our food and whatever it is that we wanted to do. We couldn't afford luxury big holidays, but we did go on a holiday to try to save our marriage, which obviously didn't work. Hello there, you dude. We're just waiting for Daddy to turn up, aren't we? So Dean will get here about 11.
Shannon's not asleep.
No, good. I need to get him dressed quickly because we've got to shoot out and get Daddy quickly from the train station.
I don't want him to see me.
Oh, it's because you've not got any clothes on. Go and get your clothes on. Camera's not looking at you. No, the camera's not looking at you. I won't let the camera see you. You're not got clothes on.
How you camera?
No, camera's not going to watch you. And don't come round the back of it because it can see you from the back of it. You know this. And to anybody who doesn't understand, if you leave say you've got a laptop and you leave your laptop open, yeah, and you're, say, in your bedroom, right? Say you go to bed with your partner that night and you leave your laptop open, even off. You could even have it completely off, not plugged from the wall. Yes, even plugged from the wall. They can access your camera and view you while you're being intimate with one said partner, and they can do this, okay? So please do your research very diligently if you are on social media. Obviously, over lockdown, you were all pulled onto social media, TikTok, things like this. Even, obviously, my mum doesn't know I see her, even though she doesn't know that I see. Even my own mother has posted out about shopping and how on social media that if on, say, WhatsApp, you get this, it's coming up on your Facebook algorithms. It's called algorithms. So have a look how algorithms work. If you have a website, and obviously the whole point to this is most people have to be published through an industry, even if it's an author, a producer, a director. We've had this industry that has existed for so long that is about to crash. People can self-produce. People who can sing can self-publish now. You haven't got to wait for a publishing deal. People who want to be authors can publish. You haven't got to wait for Penguin Public deal anymore. You haven't got to wait for Sony to give you an opportunity anymore. You haven't got to wait for Disney to be the place to be to show off your dramatics or your dance. It's just not that way. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I got really two tired boys. But when Daddy's en route, they want to wait up for Daddy. You want milk? Okay. So I got to shoot off, get their jammers. It's my NCSI night tonight. And it's the new series. So I like to watch the new series live on normal telly. No box sets, no DVDs, nothing. Live on proper telly and not fucking BBC. And I still don't pay for my TV licence, by the way, and I will be refusing to when the good bailiffs come to this door, which I will be filming live if and that. I've just called it on myself now, haven't I? Because I haven't had any problems with them whatsoever in all of this time, apart from the letters that come through the door to say, we will be in your area. However, I've now just called it on. But luckily, Dean will be in the other room, and I can go a little bit harder, faster and stronger when I know that he's in the house, and I don't have to worry that if anybody gets through that door, they ain't getting past him, mate. So he's here to help me out this week because something is going on with my Facebook, something is going on with my social media, something is going on. This is a separate account. Me and Amber were quite sneaky, quite snidey. They'd already shut my other account down. We've switched all of the pages over to a completely different account. Amber can still post from hers because she's seated in Trinidad. She's not in the UK. They haven't got the same access. So please protect any person in Trinidad. Pump it up for the people in Trinidad and Tobago. Give it to the people in Trinidad and Tobago. Please give it to Amber's mum, Amber's brother, Amber's sister, and Amber's family who have been with us for nearly freaking 7 years, mate. I don't pay them a penny. They serve my family and they serve FAE, and their whole family is helping us here. It's personal to Amber because of Sharon, who took her life after her child was taken for forced adoption. And Amber has diligently tried to come to be in this place, in this space. Oh, I can't quite. But obviously Dean is sort of in this room at the moment with his all clothes in here. I can't, his artwork's in here, so I'll come out. I'm going to get fucked. And we're going to try and see if we can work together for the boys at the moment and for my health. Because the fact is, I have to hide my worst day. And I have to show everybody my best day. And maybe a little bit in the middle. But if I show my worst day with living with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome and then having to pain management with dealing with emotional regulation, as well as on the top that my letter hasn't turned up. My letter, this is the first time. This is the first time my letter to let me know how Aaron and Faith are doing hasn't turned up. That will create battles for me like no other. Have they left the area? Have they moved? Have they gone? Did they leave over lockdown? Did they change their life over lockdown? Have they fucked off out of this country? Has something happened to my children? Is there something that they don't want to tell me? Are my children dead? I can't live like that. I have to know. I have to know for peace of mind because it's going to fuck me up. Because please don't let anybody tell you if your children have been taken that it gets easier. It doesn't. It gets harder. And accept that. And just learn to cope and manage the best way you can without drink, without drugs. Just do what I do. Use dance, use skate, use lives, talk to you people. And yes, people will ring out of hours and say, Kellie's having an emotional breakdown. Yes, you will bring the police to my door. Yes, I will rat and tell them to fuck off my lives. Because this now runs off kellycotton.co.uk. So they can fuck off out of my private bit life because this is my business. Now, if they want to speak to me, they can speak to my accountant. So if they want my fucking VAT number, go speak to my accountant. And funny thing is, my accountant, old school, mate. Old school. Did it all for all of you up-and-coming college, university students becoming MPs. Got all the books of everybody. Portsmouth is one of the places where everybody thinks they're going to come and retire and it's going to be the place to be. Artists do it. They all put all of the money that they've ever made in the big house by the sea to end up living here in good old shitty fucking Portsmouth. Wow. Lovely. If not, fuck off into London and go to Notting Hill. But I know plenty of homeless people that squat right next to you. In fact, more artists squat Notting Hill. In fact, Dean's first ever squat at the age of 13 was in Notting Hill. As I told you, Dean was the last DJ to perform at Cardboard City, which was where all the homeless lived in London. and he was the last underground DJ to play that night before the demolition people came in. And he is one of the biggest underground DJs. I'm not talking... Well, actually, he's got lots of stuff. In fact, I think when he was about 11, he was part of writing something called Made in 2 Minutes. I know, because I have to listen to it every now and then. I know when he's listening to his music and when he's listening to somebody else's. But obviously, if me and Dean were to work out, then this room has got to become a studio. And the garage has got to become an art studio. And I'm going to have to move, because you haven't seen what I've done in here. I'll show you really quickly. I made a space for Shiloh. You didn't get to see it properly. You ready? This is what caused my lives to get shut down, because I posted a picture on this, but it's a bit of a mess at the moment because Shiloh's... But I could take you in there. So obviously this is Shiloh's space for Shiloh to come in. It's not his bedroom. I've taken the door off, so obviously nobody can say, oh, she shuts him in a cupboard. But he's got all of his numbers around him. He's got his bit in here to do his art. I can pull the rug out of here, so if he wants to paint in here, it's not a problem. My keyboard's in here at the moment because it doesn't work and I need a real one. And wait until you see me on that. And obviously he's got... Watch this. This is epic. Are you ready? Hang on a minute.
Let's get this party started.
Are you ready? This is Shiloh's. Elijah's got one as well.
See you later.
So anyway, this is his room. So he's got for Shiloh, I'm just talking about personality here. For Shiloh, he's got obviously his guitar. His fire trap boots are down there. So there. His boots. He's obviously got his skateboard. We've got obviously I've got it around the right way so it doesn't show it on the front. So obviously there's a skateboard here. He's got his painting clothes. He's got his little fleecy things here. His snowboarding stuff. Around with some bits. But obviously he's got his table and chair to sit in here. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to kick him out of here. And one of the reasons is he's going to be started to run into here whenever he's falling out with Shiloh, or if he's in Elijah, or he's in trouble with me. So I don't want this to be a negative space for him. And what he really needs is obviously the level of painting. Like, I don't know if you can see what we did. This is actually not Dean's. This is me and Shiloh. So I'm the actual artist in the family. Yes, Dean. And I'm a better dancer than you can. He'll tell you that's different, that he is the world's greatest dancer, break dancer, but I'll still tell you that I'm better than him. Me and him having a battle would be quite funny. So anyway, this space is going to have to go, and what I'm going to do is have to move those 2 black units and grab the main, that thing there, and bring them into here. And then hopefully, literally, if I put a scanner in here and a doodah, because I've got a plug socket down here and a fax machine, I should literally be able to just stand there, filter all my paper into computer, and just literally get it and start getting all the freedom of requests in, and requesting that because I'm autistic and giving them the diagnosis, and because of my hands, that I require everything on disc. And hopefully, before the winter is out, I will have every disc from every county on every SARS piece of information that they hold on me. And I want a deep search, mate. I want to know if there's closed files. I want to know everything. I want to know what these people have got on me from every fucking angle, ready to do a full-blown judicial review on the level of abuse to somebody who has been neglected to even have her joints put back in. And if Ehlers-Danlos syndrome is about subluxations and dislocations, can anybody actually tell me what doctor has ever relocated a joint for you? Because if it wasn't for my chiropractor, mate, I wouldn't even know that this pain that I live in is completely fucking wrong, because I have never known my body back in place. And I want to go back to that space, because being like this right now is fucking horrible. And I want to go and see Nick, but I've only got 2 paid sessions left. So I'm seeing him on Thursday. So that means I've got to struggle like this until Thursday, just getting on the best that I can. But unfortunately, when you're a single mother, you just get on with it. But when you've got somebody else in your life, you've got to explain things like getting the kids into the, like even this, like I've got to do all this in a minute, yeah, 2 seconds. So the boys have obviously had their bath, yeah. So in fact, I can start draining that down now. In fact, let me get rid of that, hang on. So, please do remember that one has severed cord, subluxations, dislocations, Chiari, all while having to do this, has had social 5 times with my stuff. I have paperwork going to complaints. Complaints don't even know what a multi-agency framework is. And I'm rocking, by the way, so I can stand up. Otherwise, I should sit in a wheelchair. And now Amber's sent over my diagnosis. They've said, why do we need this? It's going to go to a manager. So then someone will start ringing me again and wondering why I'm screaming at them and telling them to fuck off. So I need to write to take them to court. So the judge says, move the damn woman to a proper fucking house. Yes, it's going to be social. She's allowed to do this. And yes, she'll be on PIP. And if she wants to help out society, she will. If not, she doesn't have to fucking have to, because she's been written off back in 2003. And it was me that chose to go to uni when they did. You might get wet. Come in. Now to get this water down, I've got to do it again. And obviously the boy's toy. So why the fuck someone like me isn't in a home that has a bath in it, being that I am in council. I'm not begging a landlord, private landlord, to do adjustments for me. It's the council, so they get it. They have a whole system that does it. It's all about what's on the paperwork. It's all about what boxes you tick. It's all about what framework they put you in. And whether they class you as vulnerable. Well, I ain't fucking vulnerable, mate. I can tell you that. And I ain't no victim. And I ain't somebody that usually says, I ain't, darling. So anyway, quick waz. 2 secs. Quick waz with the shower. Around on that. Where's my brushy doody thing? Got my little brushy doody thing, which I shouldn't have to be doing every night. I should literally it's really freaking hurting my neck right now. What's going on in my neck right now would be like you being in a car crash and getting whiplash once. Now every movement I'm making, that painting that I did in, by the way, I couldn't lift my arms for 3 days afterwards because I moved muscles I didn't even know I fucking had in my arms. So I shouldn't have to do this, but nobody has done the correct assessment on me. And when I was living in Preston and I went to uni, I had a proper disability assessment done on me, right? And things like whether I was going to have adjustments. Oh, shit. Lucky Dad's on his way, innit? 2 seconds, because I've got to lift this. Welcome to my evening fucking routine. Thanks to incompetent social workers, arrogant police officers, wankers of fucking medical people who are all up their own arses, who, because they don't give a shit about whether or not the person matters, because it's all about their wage at the end of the day, their salary, their hourly rate, and getting home, fucking the missus or the husband and feeding the kids, basically. So they really couldn't give a fuck about any of us. Unless you ain't part of their family, mate, and you ain't paying them, nobody gives a flying fuck. And Jesus ain't fucking coming back tomorrow, mate. I can tell you that for sure. So we have got to do it for ourselves. We have got to build networks that help out single mothers on our own. We have got to say, we're going to be there. My neighbour just had a baby. I put myself forward that if she went into labour before the planned birth, please let me know and I will be there for your little one. People are too scared to accept that help because they don't know each other. We don't know each other. So this Christmas, print up your crack book face page and put it through your next door neighbour and say, hey, connect with me and maybe have a cup of tea, coffee. Not we should be drinking that shit. This is really bad for you. But it pisses me off because these multi-agency frameworks are there to enable... Look, do you want to watch something? I'll show you. I've got to put that back in. Hang on. I've got to stop to put that back in. What if this was my child now and they went, Mum, and you went, oh, shut up. Now, you could do that, but look. Look. I ain't putting it back in. Ready? There you go. A bit weak. Hang on. Can you do this? That's my hand completely backwards, look. Faking it, my fucking ass. So anyway, sorry, you're about to lose him again because he's coming home to look after me and the kids.